Hey guys, it's Kaz here, and today I thought, you know what? Seems I haven't got a fucking clue where any of my books are since I changed it the other week. Why not do a bookshelf scavenger hunt? That's a great idea. So, today I'm doing the something or other, let's have a look. The History of My Bookshelf Challenge. This was created by Emma Books, and yeah, there's a bunch of challenges to find books and stuff. I do know at the beginning of the challenges it's like a book you read in certain years, so seems I'm not on the clock, because if I was I'd fail because I don't know where anything is. I'm gonna gather Goodreads and Amazon to help me out with some of these because I cannot remember what year I read books. So let's just get into it. So question 1 is oldest book on your shelf. I don't know whether this means date it was released or date you own it, but because it's your bookshelf history, I figure it's going to be the oldest book that I've specifically owned the longest, rather than that's been out the longest. So it'd probably be some sort of Jacqueline Wilson book. I don't know if this is the exact one, but yeah, my childhood, I still own them. Jacqueline Wilson. Now, a book you read in 2013. This one I had to use Amazon to figure out when I bought books, but I have one. Bully, A True Story of High School Revenge by Jim Schultz. This is true crime. It lives over there. Side note, along with these two I have 2 more bookcases and a graphic novel case, so you know, glad I can actually get to them now. I've moved my shelves around because I used to be stuck in here with all of you. A book you read in 2014. I'm pretty sure I read Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin in 2014. I got the full box set in 2012. I know it took me like a year to read A Game of Thrones because I'd watched the first season, so I knew the storyline, and then the rest of them was like a week or 2 each book, one after the other, so pretty sure it was 2014. A book you read in 2015. The Scorched Trials by James Dashner. A book you read in 2016, you can see where this is going. Winger by Andrew Smith. A book you read in 2017, definitely using Goodreads to try and figure these out. I don't know where any of my books are. Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. Yes, this was my first and ever read through of the Hunger Games. 2017. 2018. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And 2019, I really shouldn't need to look at Goodreads. I should just remember it was literally last year. I'm just gonna go with The Size of the Truth by Andrew Smith for that one. It was the first one that popped out on my shelf with my eyes looking. You see, I know where my Andrew Smith is on my shelf. I just don't know where I've put anything else. I'm getting there. I literally come to my shelves to pick out a specific book that I know I want, and I'm like, where is anything? Okay, next question is a book you've read more than once. So I started rereading books a couple of years ago, so I definitely have a few to choose for that one. What shall we go with? What shall we go with? What shall we go with? I know. I'm trash, so let's just go with The Foxhole Court by Nora Sakavic because it's my fave. I want to reread it again. I always want to reread it again. Next up is a book you waited over a year to be published, and I'm going to go with my current read. Where did I put it? It's over there. Just give me a second. Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. I waited over a year for it to be released, and then I waited a long ass time before I got it. I got it for Christmas, and now I'm finally reading it. I'm about halfway through. I'm enjoying it so far. Next question is a book you read on vacation / away from home. I need to try and remember what I took on holiday with me anytime. What was I reading? Oh, I know. Don't know where it is though. Oh, here it is. The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. I remember reading this on the plane. I think it was when I went to the Netherlands last year. I think so. Next is a book you got from somewhere special, not your local bookstore or online retailer, somewhere else. So what counts as special? Not necessarily special, but different. I got this version, The Retribution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkins, in Ireland when I was on holiday. I got it in a charity shop because I thought, hey, that'd be cool, getting a book on holiday. So there you go. Is it special? Yeah. It's different from my normal online retailers and local stuff, so it counts. Got it from Dublin. Next up is a book that made you cry. And if you know me, and if you follow me / friend, whatever it's called on Goodreads, you should. Well, link's down below. Add me as a friend. I'll accept, and then we'll be Goodreads friends. You will know that I cry at a lot of books. I literally have a shelf on Goodreads that's called Don't Wet the Page with Your Tears because I cry a lot. So that's gonna be easy. More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. I cried for about 100 pages straight. Next is a book you read in one sitting. I have one in my head straight away, so I'm gonna just nip over there. The Expedition by Bia Uzma. I remember I picked this up and I was like, hey, I'll read a little bit, I'll sat on my computer, I'll read a little bit and then I'll carry on doing what I'm doing and then I'll maybe read a bit. No, I sat there, I opened the book, I read it from cover to cover. Boom. It's not exactly big, but it's so interesting. It's non-fiction, you should check it out. Next is a book that was a gift, and recently loads of people have given me books for gifts, which is a bit flipping lovely, so I've got a few to pick from. I'm just going to go with The Past and Other Things That Should Stay Buried by Sean David Hutchinson. I got this from R. I sent them a package with some books and stuff in, and then they sent me one back, and it was just a fun time. It was nice, so boom, it was a gift. Next up is a book you read before owning, read it from a library or borrowed it from a friend. I have two of these that come to mind, so whichever one I see first, I guess is going to be the chosen one. I don't even know if either of them are over here, to be fair. I might even see something else first. Okay, neither of the books I'm thinking of are on these shelves, so I'm just going to have to go and nip over there. Okay, I ended up picking a different book that wasn't even those two. Yes Man by Danny Wallace. I borrowed it from the library, read it, really enjoyed it, and then found it in a charity shop, and I haven't reread it. I really should, because it was super funny. Next up is a book you lent to somebody else. So, I mean, I have books I've lent out that I haven't got back yet. Can't really show them, but I'll try. So, my sister has the Shades of Magic series at the moment. Really should get on reading them. When you're back off holiday, read them. They need to fit back on here. And then another friend has book 3 and 4 of The Saga of Lot and Crepsley, which I really need to get back because he read them ages ago and he hasn't given me them back yet. So, I need to get on that. I even left a gap on my shelf when I rearranged my books. I left a gap for them. I need them back. Next up is a book that has been damaged. So I'm pretty good at not damaging my books, but also if I buy secondhand books I don't mind if they're a little bit damaged, so I don't know. City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. I got this from a charity shop and some of it's not attached properly or at all. So there we go. It's not anything I've damaged, so I don't have a fun story for it. It just came like that. But it's fine and readable, so I don't care. Next up is a book you got on sale or discounted. And this is almost every book I own because I am a secondhand buyer. I am a cheap ass. I will look for the best value. So let me think of one that was really good, like a really good price. This perfect copy of The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, I got at Cash Converters for 25p, I do believe. 20p or 25p. And it's perfect. And the spine's not even broken, and I've read this. I don't specifically not break the spines, I'll just read it and if it happens, it happens. But I've read it and it's still in perfect nick. And it was that cheap, so yeah. Boom. Next up is a book you read with somebody else. A book club, a buddy read. I've read a few buddy reads, so again, whichever one I see first on my shelves, because I don't know where anything is the one I'll pick. Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. It's also my most recent buddy read because I read it in January with me, Simone and I, and Novell Novels. So there you go. Me and Emily really liked it, Simone not so much. Next up is a book you associate with a song. Now this isn't really a thing for me. I don't really associate books with songs. I do associate certain songs with certain films if they're on the soundtrack. That is a big thing for me. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to have a look and try and figure out. Actually, yeah, I know what I'm gonna pick, and the song doesn't even really exist. The Raven Boys by Maggie Steve Otter I associate with Squash 1, Squash 2. I can't remember if there's an actual band in here that it's by, but it's a song in here. And that was the only thing that just came to my mind when I was talking about how I don't put any songs with books. So there you go. This one goes with that pretend song that doesn't exist. Although I'm pretty sure I found on YouTube that someone made a song and it sounded exactly how I thought it would sound when I was reading it. So I guess it does exist now. Next is a book you associate with a food. There are a few that come, like Chew comes to mind straight away because it's all about food-based things, but I don't associate with a specific food. Okay, so I was looking down my shelf and the first thing that came to mind, Call Me By Your Name by Andrea Simon. I mean, peaches. If you know, you know. It's the first thing that jumped out that had a food attached to it, so it counts. Next up is a book you got years ago that you probably wouldn't buy now. I mean, I did mention a Jacqueline Wilson book right at the beginning of this, so Jacqueline Wilson, I stopped buying her books because it's not my thing, it's not my jam. Is there any other ones though? Because I feel like I've already had Jacqueline Wilson. Even though technically I've also had 2 Andrew Smiths, but that's how I roll normally. I guess these Geek Girl books by Holly Small, dunno. I read the first one from the library and then I found them for like in charity shops, so I bought them. I haven't read them, but because I own them, I feel like I might reread that and read them. Because I remember that was alright. It's like one of them really young young tweeny type books, which are really easy to read but not really something I would buy now. So these, I guess, but I'm still going to read them because that's the kind of person I am. Next is a book you associate with a specific time of your life. So most of the books I associate with my booktube life, but let's go before that because that's kind of just all books. So I've gone with The Saga of Darren Shan by Darren Shan. This is my childhood. Like, you know how most of y'all have that Harry Potter shit? This is my childhood. I've never read Harry Potter, just a side note for those people new here. This is my childhood. You should read them, they are great. It's about vampire, but in a really cool and different and awesome way. Read them. Also, side note, earlier I was talking about how I treat my books well. These are the original books I got, and like, boom, that's what they look like. I keep my books well. The most recent of these books came out in 2004, so that shows you how long I've had these. Next is a book you used to like, but you don't anymore. So the other month I did an unhaul, so I guess any book on there would have been unhauled. So I can't even think of any that I own. A book that I used to like that I don't anymore. You know what, I'm just not even going to pick anything for this, because even anything that I've unhauled I never had like a really high like for and then suddenly didn't like it anymore. I've never had that big of a curve, so just no books. I'm sure some books I like a little bit less than I thought I used to like, but I don't like love a book, hate a book, it happened like that. So no, I don't have anything to show for this. And then we're on the last one, don't worry, we're on the last question now, and that is the newest book on your shelf. So this is obviously gonna spoil my March haul, but I might as well talk about it because the question asked me to, so I kind of have to. So this is the newest book on my shelf, and I don't really want to go into it because I'm going to be talking about it a lot in my actual haul, so you know, there you go, there it is. You'll find out the story later. Or if you follow me on Instagram at Cat and Camera Books, you would already know because I posted a picture on there and then talked about it, so you know, just saying. So there we go, that was all the questions. I feel like I've been doing this for ages, but hopefully I can cut it down because a lot of it was trying to find any book. So, tagging some people. I can't remember seeing many people actually do this tag, so I'm going to tag some peeps. I'm going to tag R, of course. I always tag R. I'm going to tag Penny because I saw a video recently where she went through all the books and she knows where all of her fucking books are. So she'd be good at this if she hasn't already done it already. If not, give it a go. Who else am I going to tag? Oh, Cat, obviously. Gotta love Cat's shelves. Do it. I'm trying to think of people that have history on the shelves because obviously some of my booktube besties get rid of their books as soon as they read them, so you can't really do a history book history challenge thing with books you've not read. Who else? Dane. I'm sure Dane will be good at this. Yeah, that's who I'll pick. I'll pick them people. Hopefully you do it. If you don't worry about it. So let me know down below if you enjoyed this video or some other things. Tell me some words and then I'll reply to them. It will be a fun time. If this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, then please check out some of the others. And if you continue to enjoy, then please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video.